Hello there. This is the video for Geometry Honors for Thursday, May 28th. Okay, here we go. Circle proofs, day one. Yesterday we just reviewed what was going on from Tuesday and from last week, and we are good with that. Now we are doing circle proofs, day one. In the diagram below of circle O, chords A, D, and BC intersect at E, which relationship must be true? Well, it's a multiple choice question, so you don't necessarily have to show work. Well, we know these angles are congruent because vertical angles are congruent, right? What else do we know is congruent? Well, angle A is congruent to angle B because they're both inscribed angles of the same arc. So if angle A is half of arc CD and angle B is half of arc CD, then they're congruent to each other. Okay, so I should have to have two arcs here because otherwise they would have all been equal. So now, these two triangles must be similar because angle, angle, similarity. That would be all we would need to do that. We also know that this angle here is congruent to this angle here for the same reason. They're both inscribed angles to arc AB. They would both be half of that, so they would be congruent as well. We also know they'd be congruent because if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the third angles must be congruent. Anyway, there's no reason why they would have to be, the triangles would have to be congruent, and angle ACB does not have to be congruent to angle CBD. Those are not parallel, they are not alternate interior angles, and there's no reason why CA would have to be congruent to DB. Even though they look like they could be, they don't have to be. So the answer was 2. Circles A and D are connected by secant ACD and tangent BCE. Explain why angle A is congruent to angle D. So let's start with what we do now. I'm going to do this just as a paragraph. It doesn't say it has to be a statement, reason, proof. So for this one, I'm going to do it like that. Well, we know angle B and angle E are right angles because if a tangent and a radius meet at the point of tangency, then they are perpendicular to each other, and perpendicular lines form right angles. If a tangent and a radius meet at the point of tangency, then they are perpendicular, and perpendicular lines form right angles. Okay, and then we know that angle B is congruent to angle E because all right angles are congruent. Okay, and here, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because vertical angles are congruent. I don't know why I really care, but I'm going to put angles are congruent. I would not take off of that. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2 because vertical angles are congruent, right? Angle 1 and 2 are here. Okay. Now, why do angle A have to be? Angle A must be congruent to angle D. Because if two angles of one triangle are congruent to two angles of another triangle, then the third angles must be congruent. Basically based on the fact that they also have to 180, right? So here, you can take a picture of that if you or pause it and write it down after, right? That's all that to show this. So these are circle proofs, really using the stuff that we know already. I did this as a paragraph form because it just said explain. For this one over here, I'm going to make this into a statement reason proof. Okay? So, starting here, statements, reasons. Tangents PR and PV. If two tangents are drawn to a circle from the same point, we know they're congruent. We're going to get to that in a minute. But anyway, so circle O. I have to write the givens. Circle O with tangents PR and PV. And that is given. Well, okay. We know that OV is congruent to OR. Because all radii of the same circle are congruent. All radii of the same circle are congruent. Okay, that's why OV was congruent to OR. What else? We know that PV is congruent to PR. Because the two tangents drawn to the circle from the same external point must be congruent. From the same external point are congruent. Okay. Now, we also know, by the way, we're trying to prove that angle RPO is congruent to angle VPO. Well, we can prove that the two triangles are congruent. I should have discussed this earlier, but I thought you all knew where we were going. But if then we could say the two triangles are congruent, then those angles must be congruent because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent. Well, now we already have two sides. Now we can say that PO is congruent to PO because of the reflexive property. And now we already have enough to say that the two triangles are congruent. Triangle PVO is congruent to triangle PRO because side, side, side is congruent to side, side, side. And lastly, we have that angle RPO is congruent to angle VPO because corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent, also known as CPCTC. Okay, we are moving right along. We only have one more to do on the next page, and I'm just leaving you with one little proof to do for homework, which you will do your best on. Okay? Don't just say I couldn't do it. It's too hard. Okay, we're going to go to the next page. Shall we? We shall. These are circle proofs because they have circles. Okay, so this is a quick one. Statements, reasons. Write the given, circle O. with AB congruent to BC given. We're trying to prove that the two triangles are congruent. Okay, it's not going to be hard. We have the givens. We also know that OA is congruent to OC, because all radii of the same circle are congruent. And what else do we have left? Good old faithful, we all love the reflexive property. BO is congruent to BO. Reflexive property. And finally, we can say the triangle AOB is congruent to triangle COB because side, side, side is congruent to side, side, side. So we did all of them except for one proof. You have one proof for homework. Oh, that's so nice, Mr. Elmy. It's so nice. Only one proof. Yeah, well, that's because you guys are great. So you're going to do this one proof for homework, but you're going to hand it all in. So you really have to write down all these notes, which are here. So it's really not that hard to do. And then you have to do this one. Try your best. Statements, reasons. Really try your best. Okay. Hope you're all well. And that is it for today. This assignment is due tonight, Thursday night. Have a good night. Have a good day. Bye.